eyeshadows, it's Elle and welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be doing another installment of how to use my Holy Grail cream eyeshadows. I hope this really helps you apply these effectively and efficiently. And so before we get started, please hit that subscribe button, share this video with somebody you think might like it, and let's do it. Alright, so in most of my videos, when you guys ask me what eyeshadow I have on, it's usually a cream eyeshadow and a powder eyeshadow. I do get a ton of questions about this. People can't seem to figure this out. So I'm going to share with you a couple of my Holy Grail products as well as my Holy Grail tips and tricks. I love cream eyeshadow. I think they look fantastic on all eyes. They're really easy to use. They usually are long lasting and they really give a very soft and quick look. Usually whenever you're doing that kind of quick look, cream eyeshadows are the one to go to. All right, so let's start with some products here. I have a whole table full of them, so I'm probably not going to go through it, all of them, but I'll put them in the description box. But the point here is that I have addiction to cream eyeshadows, A, but B, they can come in all different varieties of matte to shimmer. I like ones that are either matte or they have like a slight sheen to them. Cream shadows are fantastic for aging eyes. I think that they just make the eyes look really beautiful, and they're also obviously, like I said, very easy to apply. The one I wear all the time that you guys ask me about what I'm wearing is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. This is Marie Antoinette. This is a little bit lighter of a kind of coppery color. It's cooler toned. And then of course I wear her other one in Bet. I think she makes some of the most beautiful cream eyeshadows, and these pots, I'm like embarrassed to say, I think I've had them for 2 years. So these will last you forever, well worth the money, love them. I would absolutely say these Super Goop ones. This one, I only have one because I really, really love it. This one is in Sunset and they have SPF in them. So I think that those are really well made for sure. RMS makes one. These don't last as long as the others, but this one's really pretty. It's very cool toned. It's called Aura. Now, Elle makes some beautiful cream eyeshadows that I've done some videos on with. So if you're looking for more of an affordable option, this is beautiful and does a very nice job. And then of course you can go to things like Charlotte Tilbury's stick cream eyeshadows. You can also do Kosas's liquid eyeshadows. They're great. Stila has great ones. So pick your favorite, but these tips will be universal to whatever type that you have decided to use. All right, so we're going to go in actually with DM Cosmetics, which is Danessa Mayricks Beauty, and I love these because they're really long wearing, waterproof, etc. I was going to do a Charlotte Tilbury, but I thought we would just do it something different, and I want to make it a little bit bolder so you guys can actually see the techniques. All right, so it is up to you. It's going to be your choice whether to apply a primer first. You do not have to. I just want to show you how to do all the steps for these Holy Grail products and tips and tricks. Of course, I'm just using the Urban Decay's primer because I think it's great. So what I'm going to do, these last a really long time. They are extremely pigmented. So if you choose to go with these, make sure less is more, okay? But I like to show how I use these because they are so kind of creamy. Now, what you want to do is, this is going to go against kind of some of the other stuff that I've talked about. I'm going to take just a fluffy brush. These are all these are cruelty-free brushes, but this is not a synthetic haired brush, i.e. something like a concealer brush, all right? This is a fluffier brush because I want to use it for diffusion. This is the BK Beauty 205 brush. Now I'm going to start with just a touch on my brush, literally like that much, okay? Now when you apply these cream eyeshadows, it's best to apply a cream eyeshadow all over the lower lid. It's easier and the most effective way to apply them. So we're going to apply this on the lower lid, and I'm using outward motions with extremely light pressure. Nothing too aggressive. And then I'm slowly working my way up into the crease. And however you want to bring this in is up to you. We're going to lighten it up in a second though. And then you want to bring this out. Most cream eyeshadows have a little bit of playtime before they actually will set. Now flipped my brush around and I'm going in with the tip of it and going kind of in these windshield wiper motions into the crease. Again, my pressure is super, super light, and it's just these little, tiny little, almost like hair-like strokes, because you don't want to push this too far. And then for my eye shape, I like to kick this out just a little bit. And then now hardly anything's left on the brush. And we're just going to keep moving it up, 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 up into the crease. Then you can also take your finger, which I love to do, and just kind of pat the edges so that the transition is a little bit more smooth. Light pressure. And you can do all of this with your fingers, but sometimes fingers can be a little too big. Again, remember, we go back to my tips about using a brush that is the size of the area that you're working in. So make sure the brush is not too big. All right, I'm going to do the other eye just so you can see it again. And if you ever have too much product on your brush, please keep like a towel or tissue underneath you so you can wipe off your brush. About this technique is you don't have to be perfect with this first step. I'm just going with a little bit more just to make sure that the intensity of color is the same on each eye, because we're going to blend this out with a little bit of powder eyeshadow, and it's just all going to be seamlessly put together. All right, so now if you want to, you can leave the lower lash line totally bare. You can also go on the lower lash line with a little bit of powder. Of course, you can always put eyeliner on over this, but I like to go in with the same cream eyeshadow, little bit on a more of a smudger brush that I've talked about. I'm going to look straight into my mirror right here, and I'm going to bring this under the eye. And I'm going to connect the outside. Now, again, I just want to reiterate, this is the same exact tips with no matter what product you're using. So when I use my Charlotte Tilbury in Bet, this is exactly what I do, okay? Then I'm going to go in with just a medium toned transition color. I'm just going in with the NYX palette, and so I'm actually going to go in probably with something like this or something like this. I like to use, or a combination of both. I like to use a small fluffy brush, dab in, tap off excess. I like to use a matte shadow in the transition area for the most part 100% of the time, but it's going to be really important here as well. So even with the shimmery eyeshadow on the lid, you want to stay with a matte on the transition. My pressure is really light. I'm going just over the edge, so I'm not going up super, super high. I'm actually just going right over the edge that we've created. Back and forth motions, small diffusing motions, and what it's done is it's creating this seamless area. And there we are. There are days that I do not use a cream powder in the transition shade. Sometimes I'll just do my first step and that'll be done. I will say it's easier to blend shimmerier shades like the Charlotte Tilbury one or the Supergoop one or the e.l.f. one because the shimmer has a tendency to kind of diffuse itself. But when you do kind of matte, this is it. This is one of my favorite go-to monochromatic. I mean, it's just, look at this, how fun this eye. And I think no matter what your age is, you can rock this look. Now, of course, that is the end of the tips and tricks, but what I usually do is I'll go in with a flesh tone color, so a flesh tone shadow, just using the one from the e.l.f. palette. And I just like to kind of brighten up this inner eye area here, and this is a personal preference for me. You don't have to do this, but this is just personal. And then I also will kind of clean up just a touch under the brow with a matte shadow. Do you see the difference? Yep. All right, so I just put mascara on. I will leave you with this. You can also use a concealer brush. If you need a little bit more precise application instead of using a brush that's a little bit fluffier, you absolutely can use a concealer brush. Just pick one that's a little bit smaller, on the smaller end, so you can move things around. All right, so here is what that looks like. Super fun, right? All right, so I love cream eyeshadows. I hope you guys do as well. I hope these tips help you understand and navigate this, because it can be a little bit of a tricky makeup thing to do because we're dealing with liquids and then powders. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget to scroll down. I do have a merch shop. Give this video a thumbs up if you like these, and I will see you on the next one. Lots of love from me to you. Bye, guys.